light. You want to go up there, or you want to see this first floor first?
I don't know. What do you recommend?
Well, let's go to this second floor first. You use this floor flashlight so you won't click or nothing. You don't have to worry about anything overhead. The ceiling is about 15 foot high.
Flashlight thing.
Get some light. The flashlight done.
Just about.
On this last leg. Now, this is the layout of the second floor. The cars come in from the roof, right over here. They come around. They go into this big hallway here. This is the folding barrels.
Okay.
This car over there has a sound attached to it, which is when the car's like about 10 foot away from it, the car moves forward and there's a screaming woman. Okay, goes around the corner and there's a folding column right there. As the car goes underneath, it activates a switch and the columns that collapse.
Okay.
The back moves out, the big back, that's the original. Spider comes down, then after the car goes by, it goes back up again. Now this is the second floor. You want to go on the roof?
Yeah, it's.
Now if you have any questions, you know, I'll be more than happy to answer it. On the platform, first one chain, a bigger chain that comes around here and by his own gravity just keeps on rolling until it passes the slow down, which is on the other side.
Okay.
Slow down is one of these. That's a braking unit, which means when the car goes over, hits the macro switch, it goes off.
Okay.
In case there's a car behind it, you know, the operator didn't pay attention, sends two cars too close, this will stop it, the second one.
Oh, okay.
Give the first one a chance to go down there, enter the second floor, hits the switch again, and that will start up again.
Huh.
And it's the same system from the second floor to the first floor. If you got any questions, his macro switch here activates the lights on the platform.
Okay.
It tells the operator when the car's coming.
Okay.
Understand? Here's another slow down, which is if the car's too fast, it slows it down. If it's too slow, it speeds it up.
Huh.
Because it all rotates at the same speed. That's about 12 up here. There's another one over there. That's the waterfall.
Okay.
These people built that because to cover the slowdowns in case it rains, so you can still operate.
Okay.
All right? Years ago, it used to be a wood hill before this guy showed up. They had like a big hill with all those dudes up there stuck into it, and then they had a set of boots upside down, and they called it Wood Hill. It was pretty good. Then here it had a wagon. So this thing used to be this water trough here, and on it them says it was pretty good in the old days. Then they had a bunch of Indians. Then over the years, just went through different things. This came from the. Why not how it's doing up here? This came from the goddamn Jungle Land. They had a shootout for the train in the back of Jungle Land.
Okay.
Yeah, this one here, half of it is missing. See that bar on the bottom?
Uh-huh.
It was hydraulically activated, meaning as the train went by, it hit a switch, and these two guys would shoot at each other. They had 445s, and the 45 had a hose pipe going up to it, and they had a spark plug, which in turn would ignite the flame, the butane, and they would fire, 5 strike shots, and this guy would fall down. And then after the train went by, he would come back up, and they give the kids two shots. They would go around twice. But that was then the old days. That's it's no longer here.
That's really
We don't
neat.
use it anymore. But these are the remains of. Look at that gimmick. It's beat.
Yeah.
What it needs is good gimmicks, new ones. The rides and it's really sound. The track is in good shape. The roof is only 10 years old. What it needs is a facelift.
Yeah.
You know, sound system, scary things, you know, like typical of a western town, you know, and of course the emergency system, which we don't really have, but that has to be replaced. The sound and sights. Like I said, if you have any questions, you know. See, this is where you go down into the second floor.
Okay.
Okay? That's all one mesh and it's stucco. And this was built in 1962. So you're talking about 33 years. And it's still in good shape.
Yeah.
The front was put on, I told these people that the Hunts owned at this place years ago. I told them if you put a front of the platform over the track, if it should get a light rain, we won't bother because if the track gets wet, it's a friction brake.
Mm.
If the track gets wet, then forget it. You see the skids here? The
Yeah.
screw strip? Well, it has the same thing under the car. And it's adjustable. They go up and down.
Okay.
So when the car comes down, you adjust it. You're raising it up or down, and it's just enough for the car goes around and up the hill by its own momentum. And you set it once and it should be all right. But if those things get wet,
It slips, yeah.
we're talking about metal to metal. It's like hydroplaning, you know.
Yeah.
But outside of that, that's basically it. Any question about this roof here, floor?
No, no.
Yeah, like I said, it needs something, you gotta get something that people don't look at, to scare the hell out of them,
Yeah.
you know? They remember this ride. Millions of people rode it, but what happened is this, they forgot it. They can't remember what the hell is in it. But when we open this thing, I'm telling you, you put brand new stuff in it. We just got the hell out of it. A little high tech, not like it used to be. It had to be old micro switches and plates and stuff like the pressure plates and all that shit. But if you really do it right, oh man, you can make millions out of this thing. We've got 5 trains. We only used 3 last year. No, wait a minute. Last year. This year we didn't open it. You got any?
No.
And brush this off now. Go over the track. This back is the original. It goes forward, makes its cooling sound, and it goes backwards until the next car comes along. The braking unit, just like on the roof, does the same thing. There's his. This was taken out of pirate ship. If you remember the pirate ship that used to be on the side, okay. This is Ben Gunn. Remember Ben Gunn and the Treasure Island? The guy that was a little bit of a nut. He was left on the island by Captain Kidd.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the dude. He was in papier-mâché once. Some guy did it in fiberglass. But the reason he said it like this is for it to swing back and forth would be too heavy. So what he did, he detached the head. And just the head rolled. You know? And that's a nice job. He did a fine job with that.
Yeah.
Now, this used to be gimmicks here, but one of the guys that used to own this place took it with him. There's another slow down. This came out of pirate ship. And I played, the thing was fully clothed, but the fire marshal came over one day and says, are these things fireproof? They said, well, that's not. So he said, well, if you don't do something about it, we close you down. So what they did is they took the clothes off. Okay, this is where the car comes around. And these are the folding columns. Yeah. Oh, on both sides. Both sides does the same thing. When you hit this plate here, right here, it's all air activated. You hit the car hits the plate, and this whole column collapses.
Okay.
And then has sound effect with it, like running rocks and stuff like that. This is the screaming car right here. Car comes around. There's a mirror in here that looks like you're going to go through it. There's another car coming towards you, you know. Very simple, but it's pretty old. What it needs is new stuff. This came out of the pirate ship. And it was put in here, why, I have no idea. But, that's it. All in all, then we'll go on the first floor. And I'll show you the first floor. That's, but what I think we're gonna do is gotta go through the other side. So we do that. So if you go down here, well, we could go down here, but now what you saw, maybe slipping. Again, this is the same system. See those two skids?
Okay.
We would cut them up because they were too long. But the same thing applies. The car comes down, slides on it, and and then when it hits the bottom there, we adjust those.
Okay.
It makes the car slowing down, or you know, you got enough gravity to go up the chain. Now, when we get over here, I'll show you this because this is out here already anyway. This is near the end of the ride.
Okay.
This is a water curtain. Okay, the water comes down. There's a pump on the tank which pumps the water on top. Look what you saw. Got a box here. It goes to that trough, and this thing turns. When it's air activated, it just turns. It turns on itself and lets the water come down.
Okay.
Okay? Now the car comes along, hits that macro switch here, which in turn cuts the air off. And there's a counterweight on the other end, which make it go back to the original, the way it is now.
Okay.
And the water runs down into this trough here.
Okay.
It's very simple. And then people, you know, they see that, they get scared. They think they're gonna get wet. But all this water circulates. The same water goes up and comes down again.
Okay.
All right, now let me see. Let's go through here. Now, so this is the best one that I like because it affects everybody, not just the people who find the car. See this barrel?
Okay.
It's all black lighted. It's got black light throughout. It's got 16 tubes, black light on the side of the. See on the side there?
Okay.
Okay, which lights up the whole barrel, and the barrel turns. So meaning when you go through it, you think the tracks are turning, and it affects everybody, and that is why I like it. I mean, you're talking about the things over 30 feet long,
Yeah.
and the cars are like about maybe 10 feet long. But there's no sound attached to that. This picture there was taken from a movie called The Skull about 25, 30 years ago, and they bought the piece of plywood in here just, you know, just to cover a corner, I guess. But there's a strobe light up there, which flash on and off, and all these panels here are black lighted also.
Okay.
And let me get out there this way. All right, now we go around here. As you remember, when the car comes down here, right? Comes around here. And see, this chain here is just in case, it runs all the time.
Okay.
It's just in case the car does not make it up the ramp. Due to the fact there's not enough people, not enough momentum, so it's just you stop like halfway up, the chain will take it up. This is the outside, this is the outside of the barrel.
Okay.
All these spikes are black light. Of course, we lost the shaft, the drive shaft, see it?
Okay.
That's gotta be repaired. But it rides on wheels on a circular track. There.
Huh.
And there's two halves of this barrel. Right there's the other half, see? That's what it has, two drive wheels.
Okay.
And of course, the stress being so bad, that just shut the shaft off. Now this, we come out here, and these are the Chinamen. Oh, these two guys here, not this one, he doesn't do anything. But these guys just go up and down, with the picks, and they go up and down. And in
Okay.
front of the timer, the car comes along, hits the switch, kicks in, by the time the car comes in and goes into the big barrel, which is right here, it stops. This guy over there, he goes up and down.
Okay.
Or like he's on an elevator.
Uh-huh.
Like he's, it's like a coal mine,
Yeah.
He's got two buckets in there. Then he goes up and down, and he stops. And now we're almost near the end. This is the entrance to the barrel.
Okay.
Alright? There's a speed up also right there. Right down the track.
Okay.
Which in turn, if that comes too fast, the braking unit right there, which I installed years ago, because it used to be one of those drop driven,
Uh-huh.
boy, it would break down like you wouldn't believe. So I had this, so I broke one of these. It comes around here, goes through the barrel, goes through the water curtain, and it comes out. Now, when you come out, watch your head. It doesn't know nobody, even me. Okay, this is the water curtain. And then these things used to have a barrel, what the hell do you call it? A rock made out of fiberglass. And it would rumble, like, it would run back and forth like that as the car went by. And then they had the explosion, the speaker's still there. They had this, they had a dummy here. They even put the screws up. See this plunger here?
Uh-huh.
The dummy used to be on a plunger. And as the car came out, he would push the plunger down, and then at the same time, the sound would be activated, and then you would have an explosion.
Okay.
And the light flashes and everything. And that's the end of the ride. And that's 4 minutes. From the time you leave the platform until the time you get over here, that's 4 minutes.
Really?
Yep. It's a nice ride. All the cars are here, see? We got 3 on the platform and 2 here. 2 trains, that is. 6 trains all together. And this turnstile here, we just turn it, bring one at a time, roll them on the main track, then roll them over. And that worked for 32 years. And there's room enough for one more train. So when it was very busy years ago, we used to stop the whole ride, bring the 5th down, because there's only room to stop 4. And then we loaded up the first one, secure the track, and send it out. From 6 o'clock at night to 11 o'clock at night. It never stops. Then of course, when we got not busy anymore, we did everything in reverse. We put everything to a still. One car was came out empty, we stopped it by hand, and we got rid of it. If you got questions, this is what we built years ago, back in 1978. In 1978, there was Nixon inauguration in Washington.
Uh-huh.
The city of Wildwood put the lumber of the stand to redo the boardwalk.
Uh-huh.
So what we did is, we decided to do this. Before it used to be a whole, from here to up, there's nothing here. Just a facade.
Uh-huh.
So, if you can see these beams, see? They came out of the goddamn boardwalk. See the nail? So we used a beam and the plywood we put it ourselves. And what I don't like is somebody put these lights up, and what it does, it kills it.
Yeah.
It's too bright. You don't have that Golden Nugget look anymore. This is, right here, this is like a traffic light. I'll show you. I put that in myself. See this panel here? See the operator sits right there.
Okay.
These are the brakes.
Uh-huh.
When you look at the light is green. So you lock the doors, send the car up. The car hits on a switch on the roof, which turns the light back to, no. As the car leaves, the light goes red. As the car hits the roof, hits a switch, goes back to green. Meaning, as long as it's green, you can send another car. If it's red, you don't. The chain could be broken. You know, you could have a busted chain. So, now, when it hits the roof, if you remember the waterfall is right here.
Okay.
This light blinks, the car hits the micro switch, and this light blinks. Then it blinks, this one blinks, and that one blinks, that one blinks, that one blinks, and you know the car's traveling. Now, when the car leaves the roof, this light is always on. That's the braking unit, this one here.
Okay.
It's on. Now, when the car goes over the braking unit, it turns them off. Therefore, when the light comes off, means the wheels are off. The car comes down this from the roof to the second floor, goes around a curve here, goes back inside. Let's say there's a problem. The light don't go back on because the car never activated the micro switch to make the wheels go back on and the lights go back on.
Okay.
Okay, let's say it hits the second floor. The lights go back on. Same thing as the roof. Blink, 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 blink. This is the big hallway where the folding car is about here. Then this is the folding column, and it comes out. When it comes off the second floor, the second light goes off.
Okay.
And the braking unit. Then you hear, because the car goes right behind this wall, goes around the curve, up the chain, hits a switch, the lights go back on, and then it's on the first floor.
Okay.
And the same thing, this is the big barrel, right? You go on and on and on. And then as the car come out, it hits a horn, which is right there. An electric horn.
Okay.
Now, what it does, it tells the operator a car's coming out. I mean,
Okay.
if you don't hear that horn, you're deaf, because it's loud. And all the brakes activates. See, they're all like pressure brakes. That's all they are. It works fine. These are the locks. See?
Okay.
This is locked now. When it comes out of the goddamn ride, that kicker here hits that piece, which in turn opens the door automatically.
Okay.
All right? The car can roll it down, the operator pops the doors open, the people go out, push the car forward, and load it up. Then you lock it by hand. You make sure it's locked, and again, you go through the whole system. If the light green, send them out.
Okay.
All right? So that's the extent of it. But I made that.
This is really neat.
Therefore, I can just one lock. If I have 3, 4 trains on the platform, and I have 2 out, I know exactly what they are. I don't have to wait for these to come on and off. I know what they are. There's like 15 micro switch on each floor, maybe 10 to 15,
Okay.
and that's it. So it's all on hinges.
That's
A
really
little
good.
transformer, good old 110. That's it. Even the state dude, the state inspector, took one look at this. He said, "Well, that's pretty good." Yeah, I tell you, I could tell stories about this one. Every time, because every year we wind up with a different crew. Yeah, but I tell you, the lines used to go from here, past the horse, and down that fence over there for 6 hours. This thing cooked, big time. And the cars, I would not buy new cars, because the cars are accustomed to the track. They move. They literally move. It's all solid steel and oak. They got millions of miles into them. Millions.